Welcome to another episode of Flattmeister in the wild. Flattmeister trawled for days and stumbled upon a new species of articles. This article was so retarded. Can we get an Orc Enslavement skip button, please? Hi guys, Flattmeister here. Yep, you heard me right. Can we get an Orc Enslavement skip button, please? Well, I saw this on Twitter. It's an article by MotherBoard. Orc slavery made me quit Middle of Earth, Shadow of War. So it made him shut down the game when he stumbled upon this one particular orc called Hauser the Dead. This orc apparently doesn't die. It will continually come back with new stitches and scars and injuries, you know, like his body's been stitched back to pieces. And with the Nemesis system, you know, these enemies hold grudges every time you die, or perhaps I think they've changed this, that these orcs can actually come back to life through necromancy. Oh god. So he goes, I first met Hauser the Dead in Cirith Ungol in the game's opening hours. Just another orc. Stopped me in the street to make a speech about how he couldn't die, and no matter how many times I killed him, he'd just come back, pale with black veins down his face, and so he killed him. I wanted him in his army, and this is before he learned how to subjugate orcs to your will. So apparently this orc then managed to find the journalist again. He found me hiding in bushes and pulled me out and tossed me to the ground, saying he was older than the dirt below me, and once again mentioned that he'd never die. And so he made him into his personal bodyguard. And apparently, I didn't realise this, they've sort of improved the AI system in which even if you've enslaved an orc, if you mistreat them, apparently they can rise up against you. So you have to keep them placated, so to speak. I beat him and made him my personal bodyguard. He later gave his life again, protecting me in battle, and then he came back to life. I was on my way to another quest when he found me again, but he wasn't the orc I'd fallen in love with. He was a twisted wreck. Body ball, you know, like I said, with scars from his recent deaths. He's got stitches and just shit holding his body to pieces. And it's really cool gaming mechanic. He was furious for leaving me behind, forcing him to fight and die. For using him so badly, we clashed and I won. Reached into his mind. So orcs that are a lower level than you, they're more easier to placate. So you've got to be careful of orcs if they're, you know, a higher level than you. All the combat and death had made Hauser too strong to control. Hauser had outleveled me. Thankfully, the game allows you to humiliate orcs, to lower their levels and make them more compliant. That's a really cool feature. I pushed the button to shame him, and his mind broke in my hands. He screamed in pain and said, "Where is my rest? When is my rest?" over and over. I tracked Hauser through the forest of Nirn and found him near a cliff muttering to himself, "When is my rest?" He repeated in different intonations. He begged, he pleaded, and he wondered aloud to himself, so that he then dominated his mind again. Hang on a second. Oh my god. He begged and he pleaded. I pulled him close to me, dominated his weak mind, put him in my orc stable, and immediately shut down the game. I haven't played it since. I can't get Hauser the Dead off my mind.
One does not simply...
An orc enslavement. God. I told you these game journalists are mentally unstable, right? I can't stand fiction. There's nothing wrong with being, like, having empathy. Like, you know, if a game can create empathy in a player, you know, for a fictional character, you know, that's really cool that game has succeeded. But to go, I was so triggered. Shadow of War is so good that it's terrible. Halls of the Dead was a proud and immortal orc, an undead monster who chased me across the lands of Mordor and hounded me for hours. Now he prays for death that will never come. It's messing me up. He said, the game is massive, though I've played for several hours. I'm still in the early stages. There will be more orc tragedies. And he was saying about how XCOM and Mass Effect series, that, you know, you develop relationships with those NPCs, and when some of them die, you know, you still get that. It affects the narrative. The other problem is that the NPCs of Mass Effect and XCOM are heroes, soldiers, and colleagues. There's camaraderie between them and the players. The orcs of Shadow of War are slaves. Orcs are barbaric. They're slave owners. They enslave people. They're cannibals. They are torture. You know, they're nasty, hideous creatures. So the orcs of Shadow of War, well, yeah, technically, yeah, they are enslaved. The player kidnaps them and uses magic to destroy their free will. They have no choice, which might be kind of okay if Talion didn't then constantly treat them like garbage. It's because they are garbage. They are a nasty evil incarnate. They're evil incarnate. He and his wraith companion talk about the orcs as if they are discussing brood mares and racing horses. They compare their relative traits, discuss what might make them a good soldier, and then constantly belittle orc culture. I mean, they're orcs. They eat people, cause chaos, and murder their own, but that doesn't stop me from empathizing with them. Shadow of War has gone to pains to make the player care about the orcs. Well, not care about them. I would have thought, you know, the developers, Monolith, has gone to the efforts of making Shadow of War, you know, making the players, making each individual orc have a unique personality, not to make them care. The advertising tagline is, "Nothing will be forgotten." The live-action commercial depicts orcs lovingly caring for players years after they've stopped playing and holding grudges for decades. I get it. It's a game. The orcs aren't real. Well done. Well done. But playing still makes me uncomfortable. And here we go. Here's his, like... this is how he's sort of... his little segue into social commentary. Like, when humans are crafting AI, if we can believe people such as Elon Musk and companies such as Google, then we're on the precipice of human-crafted AI systems that are hard to distinguish from actual flesh and blood humans. Will we treat them as Talion treats the orcs? Oh my god. Once again, the orcs aren't real, right? The AI is it's programmed, that it has limitations. There's limitations in the programming. There's parameters. And they're going, will they just be toys and tools for our amusement? Science has been warning us for years that science fiction has been warning us for years that our treatment of robots and AI can and will backfire on us. I think about that every time an orc I've wounded or humiliated crests a hill, stares me down, and threatens my life. Ever heard of Isaac Asimov's the robotic rules? Was it the three rules of robotics? That a robot must never harm a human. Fuck, I need to... You know, Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics. You know, a robot may not injure a human being through inaction or allow a human to come to harm. A robot must obey orders given by humans, except where it conflicts with the first rule. And also third, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict the first and second law. So, no. AI and robots will not rise up against us. Absolutely stupid. Like I said, AI programming has limitations. There's parameters and limitations that the AI has been programmed. I mean, this journalist here from MotherBoard, Matthew Gault, play Shadow of War again. Like, is this his social commentary on how we must treat AI like a human? Fictional media is supposed to get away from reality, right? You know that these orcs aren't real. Well, yeah, you just said that it doesn't, that they're not real. Oh my god. This is so stupid. Flattmeister was successful in his mission. Alright guys, leave me a comment down below, tell me what you think of this stupid dickhead. Are you excited for Shadow of War? Like, ignoring the loot box system, but as a whole, you know, are you excited for Shadow of War? So yeah, leave a comment down below, do all that like and subscribe stuff, you guys know what to do. I'm Flattmeister, I'll catch you in the next video, see you.
Its black gates are guarded by more than just orcs. There is evil there that does not sleep, and the great Eye is ever watchful.